How is it that our daughter is posted on your uncle's church? Those photos aren't old. So either you're sending him them or he took them himself.
To clarify, the place may act like a church at times, but it's been rebranded. It's now known as the Montgomery Institute of Faith.
Whether it's called a church or not, you can call it a circus for all I care. I just want to know how he got the photos and what's going on with our daughter.
Alright, well look. I had an issue with work and Tiffany was tied up and I'm not going to go do a scramble for a babysitter online or put her in a daycare or something. So I just left her with my uncle for a bit and it went fine.
Brian, I told you one thing as you watch our daughter while I'm grieving my son. And it was that I didn't want your family anywhere near her. I can tolerate you bringing her around them, I guess, as long as you hold them, but letting him babysit her? Don't you think that's crossing the line?
Before you get mad, Miranda, before you get all worked up and we get into some tense discussion, can I just say one thing that might calm you down?
Well, I'm already mad, but what? What do you want to say?
I know you're upset that I disobeyed your one rule, but it was an emergency and I needed to get to work and I didn't want to bother you and I wouldn't have left Charlotte with my uncle if something did happen, but that's not what I'm about to say. Nothing happened. It all went well. I think this proves that you can trust my family. They are great babysitters and you have a support system if you just give them the chance. Yeah, he posted her, but come on, it's 2025. Are we really going to be one of those parents where we don't post our kids? I know your stance on that, but can we get over that?
It really doesn't matter to me right now that nothing happened, because I know that, of course, the first time he watches your daughter, he's going to be on his best behavior. But the fact that he took photos of her and then posted them on the, whatever you want to call it, organization that he runs, social media, and used her in that way, you don't see anything wrong with that?
If he ran like a poker business or some weird unrelated business, then yeah. But I spoke with Charlotte on stage at the Montgomery Institute of Faith, and I saw the looks on people, and they really do get inspired by her story. They really do take such a sense of pride, just, you know, in the year that we're in. How many times can you say that people are genuinely happy that something good happened in someone's life? They are happy that Charlotte survived the kidnapping. They feel a sense of power around her.
I'm sorry, what? You brought her? You spoke with her on stage?
I did. And she's my daughter, Miranda. Please remember that. I'm not like Joey. I'm actually a good parent. So I get say. I do.
Brian, you know what? You're right. Enjoy your time with her right now. Enjoy all the time you have with her right now. Because I'm still going through what I'm going through, and just forget about it.
That's it? You're not going to bite my head off? You're not going to bring us into a long, drag-out discussion?
Yeah. Don't worry about it, Brian. Let your uncle do what he... I mean, I really don't want you bringing her around him. That's all I'm asking. Until I can get her back.
He did a big favor for you. Getting you off the hook with family court. He cares about Charlotte. He was a very good babysitter. He's a good connection for you, for me. He's got a lot of influence and he can protect our daughter. He can. So when she's with me, I'm bringing her to my family. And I'm not going to withhold her from my uncle. Whether you like it or not. Until he does wrong. Okay?
Alright. Just keep her safe, okay? Bye.
That went well. For once.
You know your brother is still in the hospital with his ex-girlfriend, Melissa. He missed a big tattoo expo that he was supposed to be going to. I think she's still unconscious, but I have a bad feeling that she's gonna pull through. Mom, even though she's Melissa, it's not nice to wish her ill will while she's in the hospital. I'm not wishing her death. I'm frustrated that in a time like this, he's by her side. We're all grieving. We should be together as a family. Alright, I get it, but let's keep our cynicism and bitterness to a minimum. By the way, is that Miranda's blazer? Oh, this? Yes. Miranda gave it to me. Now that I am essentially the head of the family and running Stoom, it does look nice on me, I'd say. It gives me a sense of power. You know, you could probably pass that down to whoever runs it next, too. Could be like the head of the family uniform. But I'm still very confused about, like, what power you actually have. Like, I kind of understand what Stoom is, but I don't. Yeah, I too was confused by what powers I have in Stoom, and it's actually fairly simple. When there's a medical decision in this town, let's say the government wants to enact a law that says we can no longer take pain medication of any sort. So the law gets put into Serafina Town lawmakers' hands and goes through the normal steps. And then let's say they agree on it and it's going to pass. Right before it does, right before it goes into the final hands that makes it a law, it goes through Stoom. And we get to say whether or not it's a yes or a no. And that applies to the laws. That applies to when a new hospital is being built. That applies to any sort of conflict. We're almost like the Supreme Court of the medical industry here. So if you went unconscious and we had to decide whether or not you were pulling the plug, and it came down between you, it came down between Joey and your wife. Let's say legally it was tied up. I could step in and say, no, we're gonna keep her alive. We can make that medical decision, because all medical decisions fall on us. When there is funding as well. So when we're doing the budget in town, Serafina Town Hospital typically gets the most funding. Little hospitals get less. I could step in and say, no, I want this little hospital to get the most funding this year. That's how it's been since 1902. Does that make sense? Wow. Wow. Okay. So you have a lot of power in town. You always talk about how bad your karma is, but you're the head of the family now, Mom. You know, all the past pregnancy stuff. You could have had a hand in it back in the day, and I don't know. You have a lot of power. I do. But with great power comes great responsibility, doesn't it? So when it comes to the stuff that you want to change in town, now that you actually have a say, what are you going to do? Ban breastfeeding in public? I know you never like that. I'm joking, by the way, but really, what do you plan on doing? Well, first, I have to hire an assistant that can help me with all of this stuff and keep me in check and tell me what I can and cannot do, and then I will give her the list of what I'm going to be changing in town. And I think somehow, some way, even after losing my grandson, I am rejuvenated. I have a sense of purpose, and I feel a legacy. I finally feel like I can protect my family. Hypothetically, you were unconscious, my daughter, and your wife wanted to pull the plug on you. I could say no. Hypothetically, you're unconscious and have a pregnancy decision that she wants to I don't know. I don't know. But I can step in. Hypothetically, Melissa wakes up and there's some sort of, oh, God forbid, paternity test issue. Oh, I can pull some strings. And you know, you love your nanny Agatha, but the amount of power that she did have and didn't step in with the paternity test crap, and I guess she didn't want to play God or something, but she could have done more for this family and could have saved a lot of headaches. I get everything you're saying, but can I just ask why you're singling out Chelsea without even knowing her? You know, she's my new bride. It's not really nice. Well, I've heard some murmurs about your wife, and frankly, I don't trust her. And I would like to talk to her to make sure that she's treating you right. Mom, come on. She's on anti-anxiety medication, right? I could tell them to stop giving her that. Do you want me to do that? Mom, how dare you? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not going to go into the weeds and do individual cases like that. I'm just playing around. But I definitely would like to talk to her.